Well, I wanted to talk to you the other day, but apparently you had a writing session, which I think is so cool. Can you tell us
I'm so
about?
sorry.
No, oh my gosh, you're allowed to do your thing. I just was like, I need to ask her about this. Can you tell us what it's like to be in a
Yeah.
writing session as a musician?
You know what? It's changed a lot, especially with COVID. Like most of them are exactly like this. And somebody picks up the guitar, we play something, we're like, hey, what do you think of this? And we go into our little Google Docs. But some studios are starting to open up, and we all sit across the room from each other. We hand sanitize, we spray our whole bodies down, wear our masks. And you come in and you either have an idea or you don't. And if you don't have an idea, you hope you get one while you're there. And if not, sometimes like a really nice way to vent to some other people that are going through like the same thing that you're going through as a musician. So different every time, but I have to start with an idea, otherwise there's nothing for me to build on that.
Well, I would say you have a lot of ideas because during the wildest year that we have had, you came out with 6 songs like back to back to back. So you've clearly focused a lot on writing and your music. How has that helped you through a challenging time?
It's been good. It's been nice to have a focus. I think a lot of us felt at the beginning that we like needed to pick up a new hobby or like learn something new. But I think it was a really great time for me to just master what I was already working on. And I mean master like lightly, because every day is a learning
You're,
experience.
you're a
But
master.
yeah, no, but it's been really nice to like not have any distractions either. Like I love to perform live and it's such a huge thing, but sometimes it's exhausting to like constantly put on that show and to smile and be everybody's friend, because that's who I am. I want to say hi to everybody at shows, but it's nice to just like take some time and kind of be an introvert and write and be the artist that not all of us have the chance to be. And I mean, I have gone crazy along the way, so maybe that's helped.
A little bit of A, B, C, all of the above. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all of
Before we
it.
got on our call, I actually just played Best Part of Me. I love that song.
Oh, thank you.
It feels like a moment of self-realization to me is happening in that song. I think we all have different kind of understandings of the best part of ourselves, but you really did a great job narrowing it down and getting that feeling. I'm wondering if you could tell us your personal story behind Best Part of Me.
I was to go to Nashville by myself for my first time ever. I think I was 21, 20, maybe 20. I was 20. So I couldn't even get by myself to like ease the pain of writing on my own. But I left everybody, my big happy family, and went to Nashville, and I was terrified. I ended up in an Airbnb with like a bunch of other people I didn't know. And then somebody left terrible messes in the bathroom, and I'll leave it at that. There were gunshots outside of my Airbnb. The power went out. People were complaining I had a guitar and that I was going to be noisy. And so I ended up like calling my mom crying. And I'm the first person to like put on a smile and be like, hey, it could be so much worse, Madison. Like, you're in a good space, you're safe, you're healthy, you're happy. But I ended up going to this writing session, and it got canceled the first time, and part of me had hoped that maybe they would call again and be like, hey, it's just not gonna work, because that's just what introverts do, I guess, sometimes.
Oh,
Extroverted introverts. But yeah, you're like, oh, I can relate. But I ended up going. I didn't know either of them, and I don't know what compelled me to come into the room and just be like, I really just don't want to be here today. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I'm in headspace. I'm really anxiety. I want to lay on the floor and just like give in to that feeling. And it's so selfish of me to do that, because like the way I was raised is it's selfish to like have those, like anxiety feelings. So like give into it. Like, you're there to put on a show. You're there to be the performer. You're there to make other people forget that they have those feelings. And I told them, and they were both obviously musicians, and they're like, yeah, we totally get that feeling. So it was like the perfect time I could have ever, shared that emotion with people. And I guess we had all had such a pent up feeling towards it that the song wrote really quickly. Like, it was done, I think, in 2 hours or something like that. It was really crazy to hear that. And then I sat on it. Like, I was really afraid to talk about mental health because it is such a personal thing, and we don't always experience the same. And I never want to be the person to be like, this is what anxiety feels like, or this is what overthinking feels like, because it doesn't always feel that way for everybody. And then a couple of years ago, like it started to be a bigger conversation, like we were talking about mental health more, and that it's okay to have mental health. And so I thought the song was just ambiguous enough that, you know, other people could relate to it without having the exact same experience, because again, like people always have it worse than, you know, what we're going through. And I never want somebody to look at my experience and be like, wow, that's all you go through, like, well, is something wrong with me? Because no, there's nothing wrong with you. It's totally okay to feel that. But it seems like it's done really well, and people are connecting with it and saying that it's helping them through their hard times. And so that's all I care about.
Absolutely. Thank you for writing that, putting it into words for everyone.
Yeah, that was like such a long-winded answer.
It was the truth, and
I'm so
that's what
sorry.
I was hoping that you would share with us. And I mean, it
Yeah.
makes the song that much more powerful when we hear where it came from.
Yeah.
Now, you have a song that just came out called Sorry, and I saw it.
Yeah, like this morning.
Yeah. So I saw that you said, you know, I am in love now, but there was a time that I wasn't in love, and that's what this song is about. How does it feel to share that now when you're in a different space?
It's actually been really difficult.
Oh,
A week and a half ago, like nobody's supposed to know this, I did an acoustic recording of it as well that people can expect like soon. So nobody's supposed to know, and I probably should have said that, but whatever. Um, it takes me back to what that feeling was, and everything inside of me wants to forget that icky feeling of being with somebody that like was the wrong person. And it's been really hard to like come up with content for it, and we've all been there. And so, you know, like,
yeah.
you know, kudos to any of the other girls that make it out on the other side as well. It's been interesting, and I've tried to spin it in a way because you know, like I've taken my relationship to TikTok now, and everybody's been really supportive and they love Derek and our story. I've tried to spin it as, if I didn't go through that, and if I hadn't have given up on that relationship and like let that part of myself go, I would have never met Derek. And looking back, if like, I can't imagine my life without him, and these experiences we get to share in this stem cell journey that we get to go on. So everything does happen for a reason, and I hope this song like shows other people going through what they're going through, that like it is always better on the other side.
I want to talk about you and Derek and your stem cell journey. I would be honest with you, I didn't even know when I was thinking about what I wanted to ask you. I'm like, what do I ask without telling her story? Because I want her to tell your story. I want to hear it from you about you and Derek.
Yeah. So he was racing motorcycles 4 years ago. He broke his back. The dreamer in me, being a musician, it's all a hope. When you're a musician, there's no, you know, guarantee. When he told me what his injury actually was, like it's a complete spinal cord injury, so meaning there's no attachment, there's no feeling, no nothing, and no chance of recovery. I was like, I do not believe that. Have you seen my life? It's all based off of hope and dream. I'm going to see what I can find. And I ended up finding a couple like stem cell opportunities, and he got approved right away. But it was like such a like crazy price. I think it was $75,000 just for the stem cells. Like we needed to fly to Colombia. We needed to get braces, a wheelchair, like all of this to help him. And he was super excited, and then I think he got like discouraged because of the price, like anybody would. And I took it to TikTok, and at first I was just like, hey, you know, this is my, you know, my story. Does anybody have any ideas? And like, we'll throw up a GoFundMe up here. Maybe, you know, it'll happen. And a couple months went by. We gained like maybe 2,000 donations, which was amazing. That was more than we could have ever expected. And then I started to go really hard. I was like dancing. I was like, I want to surprise him with stem cells for Christmas. And we started like taking David Dobrik, hoping he would just duet it. Never expected what him and Postmates did, but we ended up getting just shy of 50,000 from everybody on like TikTok and Twitter, and like, you know, friends and family donating. And then David Dobrik and Postmates just like came, swooped in, and they're like, here's another 50 grand. Love what you're doing. Bye. And so we're going to Colombia April 4th for his first round of stem cells. And I'm hoping that us taking this to social media, we can, you know, open that door for other people in Canada who feel like their recovery journey has come to a halt and they have no hope for anything new, but we can give that hope back to them. And hopefully, you know, we can come up with like a foundation to also make sure that nobody feels like, even though there's that opportunity, that it'll never happen for them, because that was a really terrifying feeling.
Well, if that is your hope right now, then I believe it will happen, because
Yes.
you make everything happen. And I want to ask, what's next? I feel like there's 1 million things next, but like top priority.
Top priority is obviously like continuing to write music. I've actually been feeling a little disconnected from music. Everything is so digital right now, and especially in 2020, 2021, like everything is so, far away and on the computer, and there's no like human aspect to entertainment right now. And I really want to try to bring back that human touch to music, because that's what makes it feel good. And just, finding the happy, I think this year has been really hard for a lot of us, and not because it's been war or anything like that, but it's different, and we're feeling really lost and confused, and there's no hope. And I think that we're forgetting to find the happy, and to be the happy. And so that's my big goal, is to write, support, and love, and to be the happy.